All right. Shalom, 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 y'all. Shalom. It's Michael Israel. Have a great show for you today. As you can see, the title of the show is from that verse, Gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. And, I want to put an emphasis on that. I briefly, you know, I briefly saw a um, a YouTube video last night. They were this guy was breaking down who Israel is, who the lost tribes are, whatever, around the world, and you know, I see people do this from time to time. You know, breaking this stuff down, bringing out who the uh, who who the Hebrews of the Bible are, and inevitably it's filled with a lot of ambiguity and vagueness, and there's no exact information. And um, while I came into this, I came into this truth, really studying this stuff. It's not uh, it's not the end all be all of you know what everything's about, but it's a major part of the word, knowing who the people of the book are today in this time, and also how to identify them. And inevitably, when the people teaching on that don't have the perspective of the people of the book, they can't see it. That's how the Most High hid this thing from these other nations who might try to, put themselves in our place or whatever. But the thing with the word, one of the things the Bible says, it says you'll know them by their fruit. There is no way anybody can hide when the way you identify them is by their fruit, the fruit they bring forth. Okay. And that's how you identify who the people of the book are, the bloodline seed of Israel. Now, starting this lesson, let me preface it. Let me start it out with this, so there's no confusion. You know what I'm saying about any doctrinal confusion or anything like this. Okay, in the Word, in the Old Testament, and all through the book, it it never excludes anybody from being a part of the nation of Israel. Okay, I mean, this is basic book. If y'all need me to bring up the Bible verses, I can in the Old Testament and in the New, where no one is excluded from being a part of Israel. But all through the book, even in Revelation, you see that there is a bloodline seed of Israel. There are 12 tribes, there's 12 gates, and all this stuff like that. It's through and through. Okay? And I just wanted to say that so people don't think I'm uh, going down some path that I'm not. I'm making that clear right off jump, you know. Um, so just want to make that clear. But what we need to, what also needs to be understood is there is a bloodline seed of Israel that the Most High is talking to. And let me even go a little deeper. Let me bring some correction on something. Um, there was at one point a group of people who were excluded from being a part of the nation of Israel. And that was the northern tribes when they were given a bill of divorce. Okay? And you know, again, that would be a whole nother Bible lesson on what Christ did so that they could uh, become part of the nation again. Okay, so I just want to put that out there. Um, and like even in the New Testament, you see when Christ is talking to the Pharisees, he's telling them, he said, uh, you'll travel over land and sea to make a proselyte. And you look up what proselyte is. That's convert a person from another nation. So this was common knowledge that any other nation could join and be a part of our nation. And when you really think about it, it makes practical sense because what does it mean to be a nation? It's a culture, it's a way of life. What separates um, how people live in China from the way people live in Russia? It's culture. Two different cultures. Okay, they live different, eat different, they do things different according to their culture. So yeah, so I'm just putting that out there because, like I said, I watched this little show that they had put on yesterday, and they're going into all these books and studying all this stuff, and not no Bible scripture, just all this stuff, trying to so-called justify other people being the people of the book. But the thing is, the word, Yah's word, clearly says and clearly identifies who the people of the book are, and it doesn't do it by color. It doesn't do it by historical documentation, like, oh, you're going to read these books and you're going to get a DNA test and all this stuff. No. The Most High is not the author of confusion. He don't leave nothing. He doesn't need any room for second guessing or anything like that. Okay, his ways are perfect, and so the question comes: so how does uh, the Bible identify who the people of the book are? Well, let's read it. And you go to Deuteronomy 28:46. It says, moreover, and I think actually it starts at 45. It says, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed. Okay? Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God to keep his commandments, his statutes, which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign. So these curses, the curses that if you read through Deuteronomy, it lays out the curses. Woo, I had to sneeze. But if you read through Deuteronomy 28, it lays out the curses that will come upon us. And it says that those curses would be upon us for a sign and for a wonder and upon thy seed forever. Okay? And we're going to read some more verses, but the, the book clearly identifies who, and if you study the Bible, the word, because these European nations, they went and they changed the names and they've changed the calendars and they've changed the maps and they've changed the images, and they just went and changed everything. Knowing this, the Most High made a infallible way that you'd be able to identify everything. And you can, and when you read through the word, you can identify all these nations because he identifies these nations through their actions and their behaviors. So you just simply look at the history they put out there, and you see, and even if you don't even look at the history, you can look at current situations and see how different nations operate, and you know exactly who they are according to the word. Now, when I say nations, I don't mean, oh, you got uh let's take South America for instance. You got Brazil, uh you got Argentina, and you got this, all these little countries that they broken up in. No, I'm talking about nations and groups of people. You know what I'm saying? Like the Chinese, like the Europeans, the Middle Easterns, you know, people in the middle, you know what I'm saying? So more people groups because people broken up into nations. Like for instance, I went to Pakistan. I actually back when I was in the Air Force, we had to fly out there on it on like this special mission, and I went out there and look, and Pakistan was in conflict with India. They were having this big, you know, shake-up thing, and but when I went out there, I'm like, man, the people in Pakistan, they look just like the Indian, you know, the people in India. You know what the heck, you know. So we're talking groups of people now. Again, it's just like um, South Korea and North Korea. It's all the same group of people, but now they two countries, two totally different countries because again, other nations have gotten involved, causes them to be at odds against each other, and all this stuff like that. We're not gonna get into all that, but y'all get what I'm saying. So saying all that, bringing it back, we the Bible identifies who's who, including Israel, by the condition they're in right now. Okay? So when you go and when you see our people, because this is the way I came, this is the way I woke up. This is the way the Most High dealt with me. I was wondering why I was in the condition I was in. I was wondering why my family history was the way it was. Things that I saw transpire in my family. Then I wonder why that was the case with all the people that I grew up with in my neighborhood, you know. And then I would talk to people from other nations. Like there's some people. My supervisor, man, he's from Germany. He's of German descent. He could track his family lineage back to like the 1700s or some insane thing. He knew his family lineage and everything. You know, this was my grandfather, this. Tracked it all way back to like some town in Germany, everything with no problem. All that was handed down to him. You know what I'm saying? Us, a lot of majority of us, you get a lot of our people, man. We don't even know who our father is, let alone our grandparents or anything like that. You know, and then the families are broken up, destroyed. You could just go on and on. And then you start reading the book of Deuteronomy and you're like, yo, this is me. Like, you know, and then you see the condition of our people, no matter what direction you look in, you know. And then you really begin to get in the book and you really begin to divide it, and it talks about a group of people that glory in their shame. They literally glory in their sin. And again, like I said, you don't even have to look in history. You could just look at currently, the current condition. You could look at hip hop. And it's like, who, what type of people could be getting oppressed and literally punished by the Most High Yah, when you really study the curses of Deuteronomy out, and the curses that are prophesied to come on Israel when you read the word, and you're like, what other people could just be in an oppressed situation, be living in ghettos, be uh, be in prisons. All this is prophesied. Be on drugs. Families are destroyed, and they can make a music about it that goes global and influences the whole world. And literally, some people want to imitate that music and that culture and that style. And that's nothing but Israel glorying in their shame, glorying in being in poverty, in prisons, on drugs, families destroyed, all this stuff, and glorying in it. If you think I'm a lie, go go on Google or go on YouTube, type in "sexy red," and then listen to one of her videos. And there are no other people. And then you see other beasts devouring this nation. And the other beasts are other nations taking advantage of this. Okay? Uh, Going right back to the music industry, you can look at how these artists make all this music. I got a buddy. Um, I might be doing an interview with him here soon. The dude Woody on Drew Hill. Uh, I got a buddy who knows him, and he was just. I was listening to an interview he had did, and he was just talking about how badly they got taken advantage of by the record company they went with. Um, there was a movie called Cadillac Records that shows this. Oh man, it shows this in. It perfectly shows how what's going on to this very day with the music industry. Just getting taken advantage of, man. It's crazy. And that I mean, it's just modern day what happened to us when we were in slavery, when we were slaves in this country, and it all just gets swept under the rug. Today, right now, as I do this live that I'm doing right now, it's Memorial Day. Okay, it's today is Memorial Day. Now check this out. I'm gonna play this for you. Let me rewind it. Okay. All right. Listen to this. Y'all let me know if y'all are able to hear it too. So listen.
Guess what? The Memorial Day celebrated today has pretty much erased the contributions of African Americans. But why are we surprised?
Why are you surprised?
First known as Decoration Day, Memorial Day became a national holiday in 1971. But Memorial Day's traditions actually date back to the days of the Civil War. John Logan, a Union Army general, typically gets credit for founding the holiday. Here's how it really went down. The year was 1865. The Civil War was raging, and Charleston, South Carolina was a hot mess. White people were like, we out. But thousands of black people, many former slaves, remained. At the time, many Union soldiers were being held prisoner in a converted racecourse. At least 257 of the captives died because of the horrific conditions, and their bodies were discarded in a mass grave. Ultimately, the Union won, and a few weeks after, the Confederacy surrendered, and they packed up and left Charleston. A group of black workmen dug up the bodies, then reburied them to properly honor the fallen. They built a fence around this makeshift cemetery with a sign over the entrance saying, Martyrs of the Racecourse. I spoke with Professor David Blight, an American historian and scholar who's credited with bringing this story to light.
They held a huge parade, and it was about 10,000 people, led by black children, carrying armloads of all kinds of flowers. They paraded around the racetrack, and then they gathered as many as could fit into the cemetery compound. About 3 or 4 black preachers read from scripture. A children's choir sang, and they sang America the Beautiful, if you can believe it.
But still, hardly anyone knows about it.
On May 1st, 1865, is in effect the first original performance of Memorial Day, but it was created by African Americans.
Why have black people been omitted from a critical part of this holiday's history? I've got an idea. Racism.
The white South was able to control first its own narrative, and then a good deal of the national narrative.
Despite efforts to forget the contributions of African Americans, we remember. And just as we remember all of our fallen soldiers, we must also not forget the black workmen whose noble actions became the catalyst for the holiday that we recognize today.
All right. So there go your Memorial Day history, man. It's great. Look, every holiday this nation has some type of dark, wicked background. Like Thanksgiving, that's probably one of the most brutal, wickedest ones. Christmas is very paganistic and wicked, and like just every holiday, if you just do a little searching behind what it stands for, you're gonna see it has it's built on wickedness. You know what I'm saying? And that's this whole nation. When you look at how this whole thing came about, is built on evil and wickedness. Now check this out. We're gonna read James chapter 5. We're gonna start at verse 1. It says, Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupt, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as if were fire. Ye have heaped treasures together for the last days. Okay? Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. So what? I mean, do y'all get that? Y'all understand that? Do you understand what he's saying there? The laborers that have reaped your fields, and you have not paid them for the work that they did, their cries and their pleas and their prayers have reached the Most High. But look, we're gonna book this. We're gonna definitely back this up with more with more scripture. But just keep listening. Ye have lived in pleasure on earth, and been wanton. Ye have nourished your hearts as in a day of slaughter. Ye have condemned and killed the just, and he doeth not resist you. Be patient, therefore, brethren, unto the coming of the Lord. Behold, the husbandman waiteth for the precious fruit of the earth, and have long patience for it until he receive the early and latter rain. Be ye also patient, establish your hearts, for the coming of the Lord doeth nigh. Okay? That's right there in the book. That's James 5 1, James 5, chapter 1 through 8. Now check this out. I'm going to tell you something. What I say earlier, the word identifies people, or not people, but nations by conditions, because you can't fake it. I'm gonna have to blow my nose, y'all. Y'all gonna have to pardon me. I'm gonna have to edit this video and re-upload. Okay. So let's continue. Some of y'all probably already know where I'm going. So, okay, we're gonna go to, and this is like the continuation. You heard where the Most High said, "Hey, be patient, cause I'm coming." Okay, right? Y'all heard that, right? Well, check this out. What we're gonna go read now is one of my favorites, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5. We're gonna start at chapter 5, and you remember what I just read, and y'all bear with me because we're going. I'm gonna really bring something out here. Let's read. I'm gonna reread the last verse of James chapter 5, verse 1 through 8. I'm gonna read verse 8, and then I'm gonna jump right over to Wisdom of Solomon. It says, "Be ye also patient, establish your hearts, for the coming of the Lord draweth nigh." Now, this is how you properly precept the word together. Okay, so that you're not trying to create your own theology or whatever you want to call it, but you booking this thing out. So look, this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, and we're starting at verse 1. It says, "Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for. And they, repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit, shall say within themselves, This was he whom we had sometimes in derision, and a proverb of reproach." You remember it's and I'll go back and read it where it said we'll be a proverb and a byword. Actually, that's a verse I'm gonna be reading here soon. I didn't read that one to you yet, but look, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision, and a proverb of reproach. We fools accounted his life madness, and his end to be without honor. How is he numbered among the children of God, and his lot is among the saints? Okay? Therefore have we erred from the way of truth, and the light of righteousness have not shined unto us, and the sun of righteousness rose not upon us. We wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Yea, we have gone through deserts where there lay no way. But as for the way of the Lord, we have not known it. Okay? These are the other nations. Okay? You have to look. Just like the name of this show, it tells you to gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. I mean, you read through this word, and when you're the people of this book, and when you've experienced these curses, you can tie everything in the book together, and there's no confusion. You watch some of these other nations try to break down end time prophecy. It's a confusing, senseless disaster when you hear them break it down. It makes no logical sense, and it sounds like they make the Most High seem like he's schizophrenic and bipolar. You see what I'm saying? But I got a show coming up where I'm going to just lay out the end time prophecy. And you're going to see, y'all, the Most High is not the author of confusion. And the other thing you're going to see is that we are right on track with biblical prophecy. You can see right where we're at in the prophetic timeline with zero confusion. That's one of the reasons why I'm watching this election so closely. But let's keep reading. What have pride profited us? Or what good have riches with our vaunting brought us? All those things are passed away like a shadow and as a post that hasted by. And as a ship that passes over the waters, waves of the water, which when it is gone, by the trace thereof cannot be found, neither the pathway of the keel in the waves. Okay? So he just, but do y'all see? Does that make sense? This thing isn't complicated, but let me show you something else, and then we're going to really get into the meat of what I'm talking about here. We're going to read 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 56. It says, as for the other people, because this is, again, when you get out here in the Eurocentric Christianity, all right, hold on. All right, when you get out here in the Eurocentric Christianity doctrine that they put out, they run around acting like the Most High is coming back to hand lollipops and lifesavers out to everybody, no matter what wickedness they done, all the nations and everybody, and we good. And particularly, he gonna hand the biggest lollipop out to America. Like, that's how they talk. Listen to this. I want y'all to listen to this. As for the other people which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. He said these other nations are like spit to him. He says all through the book, Israel's the apple of his eye. Now, we're in a captivity because we're getting disciplined for our disobedience because he loves us. But he said these other nations are like spit. And what is spit like? When you spit what? You spit, it comes out of your mouth, it comes from you. But once you spit and it hits the ground, do you even give a damn about it? Do you even care where it lands, or really? As long as it don't land on nobody's head, you know what I'm saying? Like, how much, once you spit and it hits the ground, how much care do you have of it? That's what the word's saying. This is what nobody's teaching. See, you read something like this, and now you really like, yo, who is Israel for real? Who lines up with these curses for real? because whoever it is, I better watch it. I better be repentant. I better join myself to them and be humble and repent. You know, there's a brother I talk about often. There's a brother here in Straightway, and when I first came into Straightway, man, he came down. He was just passing through. He came and visited. His name's Brother Cody. He's from Pennsylvania, Straightway, Pennsylvania, something like that. Anyway, he came down and visit, and he was telling me his uh, his testimony of how, and he's a Caucasian brother, and he was telling me his testimony, how he came into the knowledge of who real Israel was and what happened. And basically, what he was saying, you know, he was studying the word and he was watching stuff, and he realized who the true people of this book were. And he also realized what his ancestors had did, and he said, man, he was repenting. He was repenting because he knew his family history. You see what I'm saying? And you know, like, that was one of the first times I met somebody who had that, you know, that legitimate humility and not that pride. Oh, yeah, we good, we equal to, yeah. We don't talk about none of that slave stuff that ever happened. We ain't worried about that. We all good. No, he didn't come in like that. That dude, you could discern he was truly repentant. He was real about it. And to this day, man, I don't forget that. That like I that was very authentic. You know, that went a long way with me. All right, but that, from my biblical understanding, that's what it looks like. Because guess what? When I first began waking up and coming back to the word, I didn't know who I was, but but I was willing to, hey, whoever real Israel is, I'm willing to serve. If I'm a floor sweeper in the kingdom, I'm going to be praising Yah. I promise that was my mindset. Okay? We're going to read Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 37. It says, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whether the Lord shall lead thee. Okay? So wherever he leads us is like you're gonna be at the bottom, not the top. Again, I look at us here. There's one group of people who they in the hood, okay? And they got so many different uh um derogatory names to call them. You know, I don't want to say it on here because then my video get jacked up. Okay, but y'all know. Uh, I'm saying it without saying it, and you know, just like I showed you, just like the example I just showed you with this guy. Um, uh, hold on, man. Just like the example I showed you, um, with Memorial Day, with its true history, like it's taken lightly. If you look at what they're trying to do with the school books, they're trying to um, change it to the transatlantic, not slavery, but they called it, now that they were trying to change it to the transatlantic migration. Okay? You see what I'm saying? They're trying to smooth it over. And I wrote here, they take what happened and what they did as a light thing. And I'm just telling you, hey, the Most High don't. His book. Like I just went in my little Bible notes thing and just threw a couple random verses in here. Y'all, this is all through the book. It's all through there. All right, somebody put nation not desired is talking about not these or you guys come. Yeah, somebody just hold on. Yeah, somebody just put in there who nation not desired. That's what I'm bringing out. I get you. But what a lot of these people don't understand also is that because he put Edomites in there and all that. Um, I have to set people clear on that because, uh, Edomites are Shemitic. You know what I'm saying? And they've been Edomite can be a part of Israel if they join themselves to Israel. So a lot of stuff people don't understand. They don't understand who these nations are. You know, and like I said earlier, any nation out there in the world can join themselves to Israel and be a part of Israel. But what I'm saying is also don't get it twisted. There's a bloodline seed of Israel, and it's all through the book, you know. And just being a bloodline seed of Israel don't get you in. You see what I'm saying? Don't get that messed up because it again majority of our people are submitted to another. They consider themselves another nation. They don't consider themselves a nation of Israel. They consider themselves to be a part of one of these nations that's considered spit. So they're considered spit. You see what I'm saying? So just want to put that there. I'm not going to get too technical and too deep down into that, into the significance of the bloodline seed. I'm not going to get all into that. So let's keep. So now I want to show y'all something. When you read, you see we are under curses. Okay? We are people under a curse. And there's no amount of education you're going to get out of curses. There's nowhere you're going to run to get away from the curses. The only way you're going to come out from these curses is by being obedient to the Most High Yah and his word and what he says. Okay? And by, like I said, gathering yourselves together, O nation not desired. You're not going to come out of these curses running to all these other nations thinking it's better over here, or if I do this and get this degree and educate myself like this, it's going to be better. You're going to still be under them curses. They're going to affect your seed. Okay? And let me prove it to you. All right. Y'all give me a sec to pull this up here. All right, listen to this. I'm going to put this up. I got a couple videos I'm going to show you that are going to prove my point. Okay? Extra. Okay. And y'all should be able to see that now. And let me know how the audio is also. Let me turn it up. And I'm going to put my headphones in so there's no feedback and y'all can hear it clearly. Like I said, I'm this video. All these interruptions I've had. Okay, listen to this, y'all.
Those that would make some people believe that because I happen to be black and or a woman, that somehow, even though I can rattle off all the qualifications in the world, my blackness makes me unqualified. Did not seem as if my colleague understood that someone can be diverse and qualified. And it is why you have people like me that get very frustrated, not just in the halls of Congress, but in general in this country. Because as I'm sitting here, and there seemed to be this question of you're either diverse or you're qualified, all I could think about was the fact that I currently hold an honorary doctorate. I also hold a Juris Doctorate. I also hold a bachelor's. I also technically hold the rank of Lieutenant Colonel in the Civil Air Patrol, and I actually practiced law for almost 2 decades, in addition to serving on various boards, in addition to being a prior state lawmaker. And there are those that would make some people believe that because I happen to be Black and or a woman, that somehow, even though I can rattle off all the qualifications in the world, my Blackness makes me unqualified.
Okay. So again, what she doesn't realize, it tells you to gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. You're trying to join another nation, and they know they're a nation. They know who they are. They know that they're a nation. They know what team they play on, and they know what goal they need to score on. You're the one that's confused. You don't know what team you're playing on, and you don't know what goal to score on. You're trying to score on their goal and play on their team and trying to be a team captain. And they're like, nah, I mean, you could help us out, but you ain't going to be a team captain on our team because you ain't part of our team. You don't even got on the same jersey we got on. You see what I'm saying? Gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. Think about all the stuff we're bringing out here. Now, check this out. It gets better. Okay? Let me show y'all this. Okay. While I'm pulling this up, as y'all know, I really, okay. I'm not even gonna play this video, but I will put it up here so you can see it. So here we go. Okay. So back in 2019, when I was beginning to move towards Straightway, and beginning to become a part of Straightway, prior to that, I was all over the Hebrew Israelite community. I had attended events far and wide, met I wouldn't say all, but a ton of Hebrew Israelite leaders and groups and assemblies and camps and you name it. And, you know, there was a lot going on. I was working with Ron Dalton, helping him with his movie and all that. And, 2019, that Ghana over there in Africa announced the year of the return. That's what they call it. 2020 was the year of the return. And they started pushing this year of the return, come back, black people, and everybody was pushing it. They had celebrities pushing it and all that. Well, here we are, 2024. And if you go out there and look, they done taken advantage of so many people. There's been so many scams, people buying land or thinking that they're buying land over in Ghana, only to find out that the people who own the land still own it, and they just got scammed out of all their money. People going over there getting scammed left and right, to the point where I came across this video here. Let me see if I think I have a timestamp. If I have the timestamp, I'll play part of this. No, I don't. But I came across this video here from this guy. His name is Go Black to Africa. Go Black to Africa. That's the name of his YouTube channel. And, I came across his video and I was like, wow, man, you can't make this up. because when I was coming in the straightway, all these people, Ron Dalton was pushing, we got to get out of America, go back to Africa. We got to get back to Africa, all this stuff like that, this, that, and the other. To where I said, I told her, I asked me, Ron, and some dude in Africa, we were on the phone. And this dude was saying how we need to come back. We don't belong over here, all this stuff. He going through all this stuff. And all I did was went to the word, to the Bible, and I read to that dude. I said, look, it tells you that the Lord will descend with a shout, and that he will send his angels out to gather everybody and bring them where he need to from all over the place. So clearly we're still going to be scattered. So where he got you is where you at. Now, if you just want to move to Africa because that's what you're doing or whatever, hey, that's what's up. But don't try to tie it into the word like it's something that the Most High said to do. And that was my stance back in 2019. And I was like, man, there's a lot of unknowns over there. And then the people that are going over there that's pushing it, I ain't got a witness in my spirit about them either. Okay? In the meantime, I'm dealing with straightway. I'm discerning their spirits. I'm seeing that they righteous people with high moral character, serious about the word. And I get it. So that's who I went with. I went with straightway. So here we are 4 years later. And check out this guy, Go Black to Africa. I'm going to just show you the title of his video. And this is a good dude, man. This dude's very informative. He puts out a lot of good content. But look at the title of this video here. It says, Why I Don't Know If I Want to Return to Africa. It's hard out here. Okay? And I was watching another video he put out. And what he talks about in this video is just all the scams that people have been subject to out there. Okay, so then he put out this other video where these people hold on, I'm going to pull it up. Okay. So this what happened here, this is another episode. It says Ghana demolish African Americans community. So you had a guy, he's a part of that community in Dimona, Israel. Well, that's another one. They're trying to kick them out of there. Well, apparently this guy started a community. He bought land and started a community over there in Ghana. Okay, he built a community over there in Ghana, Africa, and now they're demolishing it. Okay, so we're gonna listen to part of this video. Okay, so and you're gonna hear what the brother Go Black to Africa, what he says. Okay, so let's put this up here and check this out. Hold on, there it is. All
right. This is more than two handfuls of stories, more than 50 stories of issues that I know that Ghana has with those people that I've come across, emails that I received of these different land issues that have happened over the years. And, it's a shame that there is a disregard. And I'm putting this out here because I'm frustrated. And from what you're telling me is basically that there were some agreements that were in place, that one, it would be discussions, there would be land possibly given, there would be compensations for the loss of properties, and nothing have been done. And yet now it looks as though that y'all are moving forward to other legal positions. And so my thing is that, and I'm going to be careful what I say, because sometimes when I get upset,
So I'm not gonna go through the whole thing, but it's just, again, people are out here running around. Look, trying to. Now I get it. If you going over there, and you're going over there to because that's what you want to do, business, whatever. But when you're trying to, like I said, back in 2019, there was a lot of pressure on me, where a lot of people were putting pressure. Hey, you need to go over. You need to go over to Africa. You need to get over. You need to get this. But I was like, bro. I remember Ron did a whole conference charging money, telling people, kind of getting people fearful, fear mongering people to go back to Africa. And I said, I don't see that in the script. That's not in there. Like, the Most High is going to gather us. So why are you trying to force us? Now, and I'm not saying people haven't went over there and done good, but there's just so many scams. And what's happening in a nutshell, people going through the same stuff over there that they're going through over here. I was watching another video. A lot of them people over there, they know, a lot of those people over there in these countries, they know who they are. They know what nation they are. They know what team they play on, and they know what goal to score on. And we come over there with our dizzy asses under these curses, and like, we see anybody with a tan, we like, brother. They like, we hugging them like this, and they hugging us with their hands in our pockets, stealing our money. That's what happened. When the word says what? Gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. Y'all put a 100 up in there if that's making simple biblical sense. Because what you're doing, you're running over to another nation with a bunch of heathens that's sinning just as bad as any other heathens in this world, thinking it's going to be better. Wickedness is wickedness. Okay? So check this video. I got another one. What we got? Okay. All right. Let me see. Okay. All right, so check this out. This is a sister who moved out to Vancouver, okay, which is Western Canada. Okay, so check this out. Let me hit play on this. All right. Y'all bear with me. I know I'm going slow here. Okay. Let me make it full screen for you. All right, check this out.
Discovered on TikTok. She goes by the name of Peony Bees, and she's going to share her experience of racism living in Vancouver, which is on the west coast of Canada in the province of British Columbia. Take a look at what she has to say.
So I've only been in Vancouver for less than 2 years, okay, in total. And my experience here being a Black woman, being a Black student has not been the best. Honestly, it's been awful. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's not for the weak. It's not for the weak. Don't come here if you are weak. I had been spat at. Think about that again. I've been spat at for being a Black woman just minding her own business. I have had people display so much fear that they are shaking. I'm just trying to go to the mall. Like, I'm not looking at you. Like, I just want to go shopping.
So I didn't play the entire video, but she also mentioned that she's treated like an alien. She also said that she gets a lot of the folks who are men coming up to her and fetishizing her, and they actually say to her, I just want to try a Black woman. I want to give a Black woman a try. They are even
So it's a lot of disrespect, with on what they're saying there. But what I'm showing you is you ain't gonna run from these curses. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna educate yourself out of these curses, getting degrees and certificates, and you know what I'm saying? Um, you ain't you ain't gonna come out of them. The only way you're gonna come out of these curses is by coming back to the Most High Yah and His way and what the Word says. And what His Word says is, gather yourselves together, O nation, not desire. Doesn't it say that? Okay. And I mean, you gotta make it make sense. So let me show y'all another video about what it does look like. You know what I'm saying? Um, give me this. So this is what I'm gonna put up now is a video while I'm talking. What I'm gonna put up now is a video of what it looks like when you gather yourselves together, and what it looks like when brothers dwell together in unity. Okay, and some of y'all seen this already. I'm not gonna be playing the music because I'm gonna be talking, but I mean, what you're gonna see is this is yesterday. We had over 60 brothers come out just because, Pastor said, hey, I need about 20 brothers to come help me. Well, about 60 brothers showed up. We knocked all the work out in like a quarter at a time. We enjoyed doing the work. We learned, we educated some of the younger brothers. We're functioning like a nation. We get it. Like these brothers that you're going to see in this video, they get it. They understand brotherhood. They understand what it is to be a nation. They understand what this word is truly saying when it tells you to gather yourselves together, that you're a nation that's not desired. It's all the word is telling you, you are a nation. Stop running to Vancouver. Stop trying to educate yourself into doctor, professor, lawyer, whoever, so you could impress these other nations, and they just spit on you and teach you like trash. Stop running all the way to the other side of the world just to get scammed and taken advantage of. The word tells you, gather yourselves together. The only way you are going to come out from under these curses is when you stop being so disobedient and hard-headed. That's another common trait of the true Israelites that you see all through the book. Like, if you want to know who Israel is, they the stubbornest, most rock-headed nation out there. You see what I'm saying? But when you watch this video, you see brothers working together in unity. You see the stuff I said earlier in this video. You see it being brought to pass. You see people from other nations that have joined themselves to Israel, and they're accounted as Israel. You see what I'm saying? There go me getting it in, learning how to cut with a concrete saw, just getting it in, learning, putting forth my labor. So you're looking at a home that we built, Israel built. I helped pour the walls on their house. Me and my brothers and sisters that are part of my assembly, we're doing all the data cabling in that house. You see what I'm saying? Functioning as a nation. And all I'm showing y'all is the fruit. So this is the final product that comes forth when you got your spirit right, when you're of the right spirit. Okay? This is the fruit, the final result of the fruit when you got the right spirit and you're being obedient to what the word says and you're not getting deceived by men. And this is here in America. You see what I'm saying? Y'all, this thing ain't complicated. So what I've showed you in this video, we started off, I showed you how to identify who true Israel is. Okay? Then I showed you how, even today, we went through the history of Memorial Day. I showed you how this nation, how deceptive it is, how they twist everything, how you can't trust this wicked nation that we're in. But we're a nation within a nation, growing. Then I showed you, you're not going to run. You're not going to run. You run to another country, you're just going to get more of the same stuff. You're not going to escape the curses. And I'm showing you evidence and footage here of why you need to be obedient to Yah's word. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people sit there, oh, we got to come together. We got to do something. Yeah, a lot of people will try to jump to this. They just want to jump to doing what we're doing. We're building and everything without what? Getting this right. Getting this in alignment with Yah's word and having a proper understanding. You see what I'm saying? So, but yeah, y'all, that's what I wanted to put out. I appreciate all y'all tuning in. I'm Michael Israel. Shalom, shalom.